everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Hold the Mic. I got a special show for you. We're actually going to go live to the Kamala Harris Tim Walz rally here in Arizona. I couldn't be there in person, but we're gonna watch it because I think the best thing we can do right now is show how many people are truly behind them, to show the large crowds that Trump is extremely upset about and melting down about, literally as we speak, and the excitement to see how everybody's excited. And I know for me personally, it's sorry, I gotta take this off screen. I know it for me personally, it's been exciting just being excited again. Like, I actually want to go vote. Like, it isn't like, okay, I'm gonna go do my civic duty, I'm gonna vote, even though I may not be horribly, impressed or happy with our choices. It's like, these are good choices. And even when they selected Tim Walz, I was like, I didn't know the guy very well, but it's like the more I go research, watch his videos and everything, yeah, he's a solid guy. So I'm gonna let y'all watch this. I'm gonna be here with you, so just enjoy it. And I think Kamala and Tim are supposed to speak around 4:30 my time. So that's like 15 minutes from now. So hopefully we can all chat a little bit. But I am going to. Oh, what just happened? There we go. What's going on, man? Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. I'm pretty sure they muted the music for some reason. Yeah, it says no audio, which is probably good because I'll get some kind of stupid, what's it called? I'll get a copyright flag. So no, if you haven't been watching, there's been a lot going on this week. Clearly, since our last episode, we have our vice presidential candidate now with Tim Walz, which I think is a great selection. Like I said at first, I wasn't excited because I didn't really know much about him, and as I've gone and done my due diligence, I've like, oh, I like this guy. And the more I hear him speak, at these rallies and hear how he delivers his speech and his message and his stump speech, it's just reassuring that we may actually have a vice president that, can speak and deliver sentences, unlike under Trump. Did we ever even see Mike Pence? Like, did he even do anything? I don't remember seeing him very often. Saw a lot of him January 6th. Oh man. Yeah, he is. He's funny. A lot of people are calling him like America's dad right now. Which, hey, if that's how people feel, great. To me, he seems like somebody solid that you'd want in the room when the discussions all go down. And you can't argue somebody who's been in the Army National Guard or was in the Army National Guard for 24 years. That's a long time, man. Even if it's, you're not active duty, 365, it's still a long time to be doing that. Long time to not know if you're going to get deployed, all that kind of stuff, man. So, and then to be also a retired teacher and have been in Congress and have been, a governor. This dude's been in government. He knows how to get things done. He's been an advocate for veterans for quite a while. So even though he retired in, I think it was like 2005, or 2000, yeah, 2005, I think. He still ended up working for us. He still ended up, going to Congress and trying to help veterans. So he never really left us. But no, I think he's a perfect pick for Kamala. I think he will be an equalizer for her, for the people that may not have felt, for whatever their reasons may be, maybe the people that didn't feel quite as comfortable with Kamala. Maybe I feel like Tim might be that balance for her. So I'm loving seeing him. I don't know. It feels. And my wife was the one that brought this up. It feels like we're living history. We're literally, this is our equivalent of Obama in 2008. Like we're literally about to elect our first woman president, who just happens to also be of who also happens to be black and of Asian descent. So, it's like she checks off a lot of boxes for first times, and that's awesome. So I just hope we don't lose sight of the fact that we are living through history, and we're not just living it, we're going to be able to participate in it. And that's the cool thing that hopefully people remember. By the way, guys, if you guys just tune in, there's no audio because nobody's up at the podium, and that's actually okay because the music will get me flagged for copyright. So I'm actually thank you to ABC for muting the music. Helps all of us streamers. But yeah, this live event has not been fact checked. Wow, we got to put those on there now? How come they never put those on Trump's screen? I don't remember ever seeing that going across the screen when Trump's on there. I think they got that flagged on the wrong person. They're bringing joy and energy that's much needed. Oh man, Lillian, that's what I'm talking about. It's seeing all those people back there. They're not just sitting. They're not just sitting waiting. They're excited. They're up dancing. They're smiling. They're having a good time. Like when you pay people to show up, you don't get that. I mean, granted, you got a few guys that don't look horribly, but is that a veteran for Gallego? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so Ruben Gallego. I always say his name wrong, I think. Gallego. He's running for Senate here against Carrie Lake, so pretty easy choice there. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Like I said, if you're just tuning in, there's no audio on purpose because they're waiting for the next speaker. This sucks. I wish they didn't have so long in between because I was watching, they actually have already had a speaker and he was really good. I didn't catch his name actually because I got like halfway through his speech, but it was good. And I love, when they get up there and they're lifting up everybody, running in our state. It's not just about Kamala. It's about electing, Democrats up and down the board right now. So, like I said, I'm voting for the adults in the room, and that sure as heck isn't Republicans right now. Never in my lifetime has the left been so united, and I'm 60. I love hearing that because, if you're new to my show, and by the way, Ian can't make it tonight. If you pray, send him some good prayers. If you just send him some good energy, whatever your thing is. His son isn't feeling real good, so I'm gonna be manning the ship here for Friday night. But we miss them and wish them all speedy recovery. So yeah, I'm just like you said, we're excited. What time does it start? Yeah, right now it's saying 4:30 for them. So I expect whoever is going to introduce them should be hitting the stage here, probably in the next 5 minutes. Would be my guess. Hopefully they're not running behind. When I streamed the one in Detroit, it was like a half hour behind. So I was filling time. I was filling space like this the whole time. The only reason I came live now is because somebody was on the screen, and I was like, cool, if they're gonna have speakers, I'll broadcast it. But yeah, they don't have any speakers. See, this is kind of weird because to me, this is time you should have candidates up on the stage. Like you should have Ruben up there. You should have state people up there. Yeah, I feel like this is just me being my pessimistic self. No, I just feel like this is kind of a missed opportunity for some candidates. I mean, heck, I've got 1,000 people watching right now. I've been on for 9 minutes, and I know when I signed on. Actually, we can look at that. They had like over 11,000 watching when I signed on. So, yeah, they still have it. You can see down here they have 11,014 people watching, and it's been streaming for 40 minutes. So, and on top of it, if you went on YouTube, Kamala has her own YouTube page, but they don't stream any of the the rally up until she goes out, or Tim goes on stage. So they don't turn it on until basically the person is introducing them. So like I said, that's why I went live, because I thought that would be the case. So like I said, I hope we hang on to this positivity that we all have, the energy that's behind this campaign. I honestly think, I really do think Kamala and Tim are the right people for this job right now. I think they're the right people that we need. I truly do. So, and I think most of the American people are just happy to have somebody that they actually want to vote for. And I'm not taking anything away from Biden, and I love the fact that, Kamala's out here every time she gets on the stage, she's thanking Joe Biden for opening the door for this to be a possibility, for us to be here right now in this moment. And I'm not trying to take anything away from that, but I don't think I'm saying anything surprising that a lot of people were, even though a lot of us on the left were still defending Joe, it was like we were doing it, I don't want to say begrudgingly, but it was like we were doing it knowing that he wasn't at 100%. But it's like, well, what are we going to do? Vote for Trump? Like, no. So it's like, if these are our choices, it's still an easy choice. But was everybody this energized? Do you think that Biden would have been having this kind of reaction and this many people showing up? Personally, I don't. I think what we're seeing is the excitement of us turning the page. You know, and I've said it on this show several times. When I voted for Joe Biden in 2020, I voted for the ticket. I didn't just vote for Joe. I voted for Kamala knowing that if God forbid something happened to that 80-year-old man, that we had somebody qualified and capable of taking the reins with very little turnover and an issue. And I felt very comfortable with that ticket in 2020. Now, when I voted for that, I also thought what the plan was for Joe to get us the White House from Trump, who, again, he was the best person to do that at the time, which I know people argue about. And I expected this. I expected him to step aside and hand it to Kamala. So, when I was not seeing that happen as quickly as I would have liked, I got a little heated. And I think the important thing for anybody is to be able to say, "Ooh, I got that one wrong." But in this case, it's like a good thing. You know, yeah, I was wrong. I personally didn't think that we had set Kamala up for success. I did not think that people were going to accept her like this. I really didn't. I've said it on air. And so to be wrong and see, how ready people are for this, for this ticket and for her, and not just because it's against Trump. Yeah, there's going to be people that are voting against Trump more than they're voting for Kamala, but I really don't think that number is going to be as high as people think. I think people are going to be voting for Kamala, not against Trump. And again, I truly think adding Tim Walz was probably the perfect pick. I know some people wanted Shapiro. I know some people wanted Buttigieg. I was personally a Buttigieg person. I don't know what it is. That dude he grows on me. Like at first I was like, when everybody was really big on him, I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. But that dude's just grown on me. He's too competent. He's too well spoken. He has a record that you really can't mess with. People have tried and he's dismantled them. And most importantly, he has the ability to do something that I don't even think I can do, which is he can go into Fox News. He can go into the Lion's Den and sit there and very calmly take their nonsense and turn it into a great clip of him handing them their behind. And it's like, okay, that's what we need. Somebody that can calmly be the adult in the room, and that's Pete Buttigieg. But I also think that's Tim Walz. There's more than one person that can be the adult in the room. And I think Kamala Harris is going to build a team of people around her that are capable of doing that. Uh, she does not she does not seem like the type of person that's going to suffer people that don't do their jobs. Like she seems like she seems like she'd be awesome to hang around with. But when it's time to work, she also seems like one of those people that's like, okay, we had our fun. We had our barbecue on Sunday. Now it's Monday and it's time to get back to work. You know, like we've all seen the video of her dancing and having fun at concerts and, backyard barbecues and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's normal American stuff. Like, not seeing somebody do that stuff is abnormal to me. So just seeing her ability to balance things out, she loves to cook. I don't know, man. She seems a heck of a lot more, middle class American type person to me than Donald Trump. I mean, of course she's successful. She's had a very, good career. She's been a DA. She's been the Attorney General of California. She was a senator. Now she's been VP for 4 years. So you can't really say anything about this woman's resume. And I think that that's part of what bothers them. And it just makes she slept her way to the top talking point look that much more ridiculous because, this woman didn't do that. She has an education. She's got a brain. You don't listen to Kamala Harris speak and go, huh? Like, about 95% of the time, you're going to know what she's saying, which you can't say about the other guy. I'm really disappointed they don't have anybody speaking, guys. I'm so sorry. I went live because they had people talking. Now here I am having to fill 20 minutes of dead air, which is exactly what I didn't want to do. Kind of wish Tim Walz was top of the ticket. No, I think the ticket's exactly what it needs to be. Pete and Walz were my top two. Yeah, like I said, Walz wasn't even on my radar. And I think just because I didn't know anything really about him. And that was probably my fault. I should have gone and researched him more, when the list of the final candidates came out. Now that she's actually in the public eye and we're getting to know her, and now Tim, it's definitely about what we're fighting and voting for. Yep, I agree. I agree. And that's what I think that's what I was missing. And I want to finish that talking point. I'm glad somebody said that. I was mad at Biden the first 24 hours. And then I let it marinate, which I probably should have done before I posted a few posts. But, that was how I was feeling. And I know I wasn't the only one. So, but after 24 hours and I started watching the right wing respond, I went, oh, now I see it. See, what happened was they waited until after the Republican convention, which was so perfect. It was just such a master move. We've been crying about, we wish the DNC would, get their messaging right. We wish they would fight, dirty. We wish they would, outsmart them, Like so many of us have complained about so many things. And to see them actually outsmart them and watch them spend all 4 days of their convention, going after Biden, talking about Hunter, talking about Ashley, talking about the diary, talking about, substance abuse, whatever it is that they're talking about. And it's like they did that for 4 days straight. And then the next day, Biden comes out and he's like, yeah, I'm going to drop out. And Kamala's going to be our next president and have a nice day. And everybody on the right went, huh? Like, Trump is still upset about it. That's their whole talking point. The whole point of their talking point of Democrats didn't elect her or nominate her to be our candidate. And to that, I'm like, you guys do realize we voted for her, right? Like, not just in 2020, but even in this primary. Are they saying something? Turn on the audio. Oh, don't whisper at the speaker. Don't whisper at the microphone. Already memory hold everything from the RNC except they were all wearing their sympathy ear diapers. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna say never, but I just don't feel like that would be something liberals would do. At least not most liberals I know. I'm sure some would, but I don't know. I, to me, that's making a mockery of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was all serious people, I don't know. Maybe I'm off base. Biden is a hero and a national treasure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't see it the first 24 hours, but once I stepped back, watched some of the reactions, watched what the right wing was upset about, how it upset them, that was when I was like, oh, okay, now I see what just happened. And I don't know, Gracie. Like I said, we're talking 20 minutes of you've got thousands, tens of thousands of people watching virtually. Not to mention, the stadium looks pretty full. Uh, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it seats at least 15,000. So I'm guessing there's probably at least 8, 10,000 there, maybe more. And I could be way off base with the numbers. I was just looking at some of the videos online, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they say the numbers are. Do they give out snacks at the rallies? They need to be giving out water because every one of these that I've broadcast, there have been multiple times they've had to stop to get medical treatment for somebody in the crowd. So, luckily I think they're inside here, so it looks like everybody's pretty comfortable in t-shirts. So nobody's like dying sweating. I don't see, and they're dancing and having fun. When you're outside in 102 or whatever it is, it actually hasn't been that hot. I don't know what it is in Phoenix. But when it's 100 degrees and you're sitting outside, you don't move much. You just kind of sit. All posts I've seen about the venue was 20,000. Okay, so I was off by like 5,000. Yeah, because there's some empty chairs, especially up in the, which they might have filled in by now. But when I looked, there was definitely still, like, how people don't want to sit next to each other, so there'll be like a chair, 5, 6 people in a chair, kind of like that thing. So everybody's saying 20K seating for the arena. So if they fill that, that's, and I'm telling you guys, there's videos going around on Twitter and everything right now. The Thomas and Max seats almost 25,000. Wow. So yeah, I can't hear anything. I just got here. Yeah, the rallies, they've muted it because they were just playing music. So like I said, guys, again, I'm sorry. I what I should have done is I should have done what I wanted to do, which was wait until they were introducing her or Tim, and then done it. 20,000 seating, 25,000 tickets issued. Nice. They're saying going to break Michigan's 15,000 record. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I think you guys have to realize, Arizona's very purple. I wouldn't say we're blue, even though we have a Democratic governor, Democratic AG. Our state is still controlled at the state level by Republicans, and it has been for decades. So it's like, even though you may give the state a Democratic governor, but if you don't give them, the state house and the Senate and all that stuff, you know, you you have a governor that's going to have to do what Katie Hobbs had to do, which is basically sign executive orders for anything she wants to actually get done, because she can't depend on having rational people at the state level, and they've proven that time and time again. So had to leave and come back. We're not going back. Like I said, guys, we're living history right now, and I don't want that to be lost on anybody. We really are living history. Hydraulic problem. We shall see if he even shows up. Roe might have made it blue. I agree. So I think we were very purple in 2022 and even 2020. Um, and I think that this may be the shift that we'll see. I really think if the state, level goes blue, then you're going to see some major changes in Arizona. Good, for the good, for the better. You know, and I just want to point out Trump and his plane, hydraulic issues, that's surprising. He just spent a ton of money refurbing it with his donor money, his donors' money. Is this your episode of Hold the Mic this week? Yes, it is. And again, because I know we've got almost 2,000 people here waiting. Ian will not be able to join us tonight. His son isn't feeling too good, so you know, whether you're a prayer or, you know, send positive energy or good vibes, whatever, if you guys can just send them some good vibes. They were traveling this week, and so they think he might have gotten something. Traveling will do it. You know, we got sick when we came back from Disney for, it was about 2 weeks. Uh-oh, we got somebody working the camera. Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, they're already 8 minutes past the schedule. Yeah, but yeah, traveling will do that. And COVID's going around. I mean, I was watching the Olympics, and was it Noah Lau? Oh, we're going to be seeing some wrinkles. You don't move that camera. No, I think these rail important. I'm going to sound like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Important. What's the other word you can't say? I forget what the other word is, but I just think that it's good for people to see the excitement, how many people there really are, the diversity, you know, in these crowds compared to other crowds. It's just, man, this is so exciting. And I've been able to be a part of raising over $5 million over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've had white dudes for Kamala, and or white dudes for Harris, comics for Kamala, Latino men for Kamala, natives for Kamala. Like, I've been a part of some really cool fundraisers over the last few weeks, and it's been amazing to see how much money we've been able to raise. So yeah. And another friendly reminder, if you buy anything off of Kamala's campaign site, everything that is on there is union printed. So by buying that, you're actually supporting union jobs. And that's not just Kamala, that's almost every Democratic candidate you run into is going to use union print shops. So just a friendly reminder that Democrats support union jobs even when they're campaigning. Love this for AZ. I love it for AZ. I love it for America. White women for Kamala raised a ton too. I assume that's what WW means. Sorry if I'm wrong. Sketchy connection here? Uh-oh. We need a joyful warrior. I know, I actually did a video, I cut that, where she said, we're joyful warriors, and then I cut it right to where she told the protesters to pipe down. It's like, yeah, we're nice people. Or no, we're kind people, but we're not nice. Like, you can't be nice with these people. They take advantage of it. And I always love seeing their shocked face when you give it back to them. It's like, oh, you don't like it when it happens to you. Oh, you don't like it when we say the same thing to you. Ah, okay. So you know you're wrong. Ah. Yeah. Forget the extreme liar, angry and blasphemous businessman using your holy Bible, lock him up. I mean, I'm just kind of done. I'm really getting to the point where I don't even want to talk about him anymore. Like, I have made so many clips on my phone, you know, of him speaking from the last couple days, and I haven't done it, like, I haven't really done any videos with him because I think I'm honestly to the point where I can't even listen to him speak anymore. Like, just the sound of his voice. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Oh, there's Ruben. Alright, so hopefully they should be bringing the audio up here shortly. And then I'll do what I do. I'll mute my mic. I don't hear anything yet. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna mute my mic and let y'all hear, okay? Love y'all. Thanks for hanging around and watching.
Arizona! It is so good to be here with my fellow Arizonans. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ruben Gallego. I'm a dad, a husband, a congressman, and next to be your U.S. Senator. But before all that, I proudly serve in the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Hoorah! Yup, yup. I had the honor of fighting for my country alongside my brothers in Iraq. And those were some very tough days. But the fight for my brothers was worth it. And so is this fight. Arizona, we have 88 days until Election Day. And this excitement, this enthusiasm to fight for a better, a brighter Arizona together is what we need. Juntos y unidos, siempre. I am proud. One second, we have a... Is everything okay? Medical, I apologize. Can we get some medical care over there, please? Are you okay? Thank you. Please, Arizonans, bear with us. We have a fellow Arizonan that needs a little attention here.
Yeah, you see, this is what I was talking about. This happens. This has been happening at every event. Every event. I bet you it'll happen again when they're on the stage.
Thank you also to our first responders for reacting so quickly. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you to first responders, law enforcement, everyone here for protecting us and taking care of ours. Thank you. This is a very good example of what Arizona is. We took care of each other right now. We asked for help. We said that we were going to take care of a fellow person. That's what we're bringing here today. Together in 88 days. Together in 88 days, we can bring that better Arizona forward. I am proud here also to stand together with another proud veteran, un veterano, Governor Walz. A man who has spent his career proudly serving his community. A teacher, a football coach, a soldier in the National Guard, a patriot. I got to know the governor in Congress. We both served on many committees, but I know one thing about him. He always put veterans first. And he is going to proudly represent us alongside our next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. As a prosecutor, as Attorney General, she took on drug cartels. As a U.S. Senator and now the Vice President, Kamala Harris knows how to win and to fight for us. Look, Arizona, we are at a crossroads. We need to be cutting costs for our families. We need to be protecting abortion rights. And we need to be defending our democracy. All that and more are at stake in this election. Since launching this campaign 19 months ago, yes, 19 months ago, I've been proud to crisscross this beautiful state of Arizona. I've spoken to Arizonans everywhere, the farmer in Yuma, the sheriff in Parker, the mom in Mesa, the teacher in Maryville, the student in the Navajo Nation, the abuelita in Nogales. And here's the one thing I discovered. We have so much in common. We want to build a better Arizona for our families and our communities. And that is what this election is about. These politicians, the Kari Lakes of the world, will not give us that. She and they will divide us. She'll ban abortion and not look back. She'll put Medicare on the chopping block. And she has been very clear that she will not do anything to have true solutions to the border. This is the same person that is still trying to declare herself governor 2 years after losing an election. Kari Lake is not looking out for you. She's looking out for herself. And what we need is someone to look out for you, to fight for you. And I am probably going to be that person. Because no matter what, and everyone knows it, once a Marine, always a Marine. And I never back down from a fight. So I'm going to fight for my daughter Isla, who deserves the same rights that her grandma had growing up. Let's fight for her. For my mom, who struggled to put food on the table, keep us in our safe apartment, and fight for a better future. Let's fight for her. For my son Michael, who deserves the brightest future that I can give him, that this country could give him. Let's fight for him. In the Marines, they teach you a lot of things, but one of the most important things to teach you, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So here's what we're going to do in the next 88 days. Let's defeat Kari Lake. Let's defeat Donald Trump. Let's fight for a better future for Arizona. And let's go win. Let us show them who we are in Arizona. Show them that you don't dare to come and try to take our rights, our freedoms, and our future away. We are Arizonans. Let's do it. Let's go win. Let's go Arizona.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's who I'll be voting for.
And now, please welcome former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and your United States Senator from Arizona, Mark Kelly.
Sorry guys, what happens is if you play the music too long, they give my account a flag. So I'm gonna try to wait till they. Yeah, I hate that they do that. Like, they don't care where the music comes from either. There we go. Arizona loves them.
What a crowd!
Right,
what a crowd! Thank you. Hello, Phoenix. It is so great to be home here in Arizona. And Gabby and I are so excited to be with all of you today. And to welcome our next president and vice president. To our great home of the state of Arizona. So, Gabby and I played rock, paper, scissors to see who could speak first today. And guess who won? You're right. My wife, the woman who inspires me each and every day and teaches me to never give up. Gabby Giffords.
Our lives can change so quickly. Mine did when I was shot. But I never gave up hope. I chose to to move ahead, to not look back. I'm relearning so many things, how to walk, how to talk, and I'm fighting to make the country safer. It can be so difficult. Losses hurt. Setbacks are hard, but I tell myself, move ahead. I'm finding joy in small things, riding my bike, playing the French horn, going to the gym, laughing with friends. The small things add up. We are living challenging times. We're up for the challenge. My own recovery has taken years. Many, many, many people helped me along the way, and I learned so much. I learned that people care for each other and work together. Progress is possible. A world is possible. But change doesn't happen overnight, and we can't do it alone. Join me. Let's move ahead together. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Gabby Giffords, everybody. Arizona Democrats. Now, we've done a whole lot of winning over these past few years, haven't we? And I don't know about you, but I think we're ready to keep winning. We are going to keep winning with Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz. And we've got to, because there is so much at stake. whether our kids grow up with the same rights and freedoms as the generations before them, whether our economy works for everyday people or is rigged for billionaires, and whether our alliances are strengthened or shredded. And that's why we have to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Kamala Harris has served as a prosecutor, an attorney general, a senator, and now as the Vice President of the United States of America. She is the leader we need to take our country into the future. To lower the cost of child care, to restore reproductive rights, and to help us reduce gun violence. And Tim Walz has served as a coach, as a teacher, as the governor of the state of Minnesota, and in the U.S. House. And I don't know if you know this, but Gabby and Tim Walz were sworn in together as brand new members of Congress. Right? Yes. Right. He served honorably in uniform for decades. And Tim has brought that experience to everything he has done since. Fighting for our service members, fighting for veterans, and fighting for military families. Now, that's not something I expect that Donald Trump would understand. Donald Trump calls those who served suckers and losers. And he has zero respect for any of us who have worn the uniform. Folks, here in Arizona, we don't attack people for their service to our country. What do? We thank them. Right? So, how do we help Vice President Harris and Governor Walz win this election? So, folks, this is not rocket science. And I know a little bit about rocket science. That ain't this.
That was beautiful.
What this is about is who works harder. That's it. It is as simple as that. And here's the thing. I've flown in space 4 times. And I've flown in combat nearly 40 times. But folks, not once did I do any of that by myself. It takes a team of people working together to accomplish a mission. It's always been that way. Now, I may be a Navy guy. I might be a Navy guy, but to win this election, we do not need a Navy. What we need is an Army. Now, here's the good news. Our future vice president, he's an Army guy. So we need all of you to become part of an army. Yes. An unstoppable army that can get this team through the trenches and across the finish line. And Gabby and I, we are ready to join this army. Are all of you? All right, so let's get this done, Arizona. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
One more time.
Thank you.
One more time.
I gotta turn the music off so I don't get. I'm probably already gonna get hit. I don't think I've turned it off soon enough, but we have over 4,000 people watching just on Hold the Mic right now. So that's just here, you guys. That's just on my platforms. We got over 4,000 people right now. So can you imagine how many people are watching? Like, let's see how many people are watching on here. They have 21,527 people watching on the main source, plus 4,000 on mine. That's incredible. Let's see, still music? Yep. Oh, so let me look in the comments here. So, hey Darwin, good to see you back. Blue is the new awesome. I like that. That needs to be on a shirt. I like that, Shannon. Daft Punk. I know, Daft Punk will get you flagged for copyright in like 2 seconds. Dump Trump and his cult members. I like that one. Country over party. Absolutely. Who are these folks? And I'm looking in the comments, so if I miss something, sounds like they're about to announce them. Thanks for hosting these live casts. No, thanks for everybody watching. I mean, I do them because people actually seem to like them and enjoy them. The first one, I was trying to talk during it, and people were kind of like, shut up. So I've learned to you make sure you straighten that for our next president. So yeah, I learned to mute it while the speakers are talking. people are saying, I think somebody said they issued 25,000 tickets and that the stadium seats 20,000. So if it's full, there's at least 20,000 people there. And from what I'm seeing online, from like the videos people are taking, it looks like it's full. Like, you know, there's a few seats you can see here and there, but yeah, it looks pretty darn full. I feel comfortable saying there's at least 15,000 people there. I think they broke the record they set in Detroit, which I hate to see because I'm from, you know, you guys that watch the show, you know I'm from Detroit. I grew up there. It was just so nice to see, you know, because so many people I went to high school with ended up being Trump supporters. So it was just really nice to see Michigan showing up and showing out. And Ian was actually he called me before he had to cancel, and was telling me that he'd just gotten back from Michigan, and that there wasn't a ton of Trump stuff, which you used to see a lot up there. That Trump country up in Michigan seems to be dying down. I think he's losing a ton of support. And I think that this move, like I said, you know, I was saying earlier for those of you who weren't here, you know, I was one of those people, like when Biden first dropped out, the first 24 hours, I was pissed. I really was. I was upset. And then, you know, after letting it marinate, sleeping, you know, which I should have done before I posted a few of those things, I was like, I started seeing what had just happened. And it was like, oh, now I see the big picture. You know, now I see what happened. And it was just a beautiful move. And it was so nice seeing the Democratic Party play the game. You know, like, I thought that it was too late, that Biden should have, you know, they should have done this 2 years ago. And I was wrong. I was 100% wrong, because doing it this way, waiting until after the Republican convention, letting them waste all this time. People look like they're getting excited. Not. But, you know, they wasted their whole Republican convention on Hunter Biden and Ashley Biden and showers and, you know, whatever else, laptops. And it was all for nothing. And then you put up a woman who has a resume like Kamala Harris, and it's like, you guys are done. And I underestimated the Democratic Party and liberals getting behind Kamala Harris. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm so glad I was wrong. Like, I was wrong. And I'm so thankful. Yeah, Arizona's definitely in play. I think even more so than 2022. I really do think that the fact that, like, for those of you who aren't from Arizona, like myself, we had a water rights issue, and there's like the 5 states around here were put on their first federal water shortage. I think it was in either 2019 or 2020. So, like, that was a big deal. And then we found out that the government in Arizona had made some business deals with Saudi Arabia to grow alfalfa here in our state so that they could send it back to Saudi Arabia to feed their livestock. Now, the problem with that was 2 things. Number one, if you know anything about alfalfa, which I didn't until I researched this, is it requires a lot of water to grow. So it makes no sense to grow alfalfa in the desert because it requires so much water. So when you put it in Arizona, the other problem is they didn't really set a limit on how much water these farms could use. So Saudi Arabia was like using almost unlimited amounts of water, you know, in these farms, and nobody was doing anything about it. So when AG Chris Mays was elected, I believe one of the things she campaigned on was shutting those down. And I think it was within her first 6 months, I believe. Maybe it was her first year. But she... anyway, she got those contracts canceled, so Saudi Arabia is no longer able to do that. And Katie Hobbs has done a lot to through executive orders, so guys go Google that too. So I think that's going to help us a lot come time to vote, for sure. Y'all are killing me with this music. So we're an hour in, we've got 4,100 people watching. So just want to give a shout out to everybody watching, everybody showing up, not just for supporting Kamala and Tim Walz, but also supporting my platforms. And so please like, subscribe, and whatever platform you're on, and go download Hold the Mic. We are on all your favorite streaming platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on Apple iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeart. We're everywhere. So you can, there's literally no excuse for you not to be listening to the podcast, because you can download us and take us with you everywhere. If you're on a plane, wherever, take us with you. And like I said, I appreciate all the love too in the comment sections. I'm seeing them all. I'm just not, even if I'm not putting them up on the screen, I'm seeing them. So I love you guys. I think it happened to many people the same way. We are going to have our first woman president. I'm so excited for that. I really am. I was excited for Hillary. You know, I thought Hillary was qualified for the job. You know, once you saw through all the nonsense. But Kamala's more than qualified. And yeah, she's gonna get it done. And again, I think she made, thankfully we didn't have the reaction. Like when Trump picked J.D. Vance, it was kind of like the Democrats went, oh, that's not going to help them. And a lot of people on the right went, that wasn't a good choice. But when Kamala picked Tim Walz, it was like, it was either one of two things. Which was me. Oh, here we go. That looks like something. There's two.
Hello, Arizona. Wow. Hey. Yeah. Wow. Well, you might have seen a few people showed up in Philadelphia the other night. And then 10,000 plus walked into a field in western Wisconsin. And then on Wednesday, the largest crowd of the campaign showed up in Detroit, Michigan.
Shout out to Detroit. Miss my
But
home.
Arizona just couldn't leave it alone, could you?
No, we couldn't. 20 plus thousand.
Wow. You know, it's not as if anybody cares about crowd sizes or anything. So. Wow. Let me begin by giving a few thanks to some people here and a few dear folks to us. First of all, I want to thank Arizona for sharing Senator Mark Kelly and Gabby Giffords with the rest of the country. Gabby was a classmate of mine in '06, and they are both national treasures. Thank you, Arizona. Also had the privilege of serving with Congressman Gallego, and I'll have to tell you, he was an amazing colleague, and I have to tell you, he's going to be an amazing senator. But we get a twofer with Ruben, because we know who is never going to be a United States senator. To all the local elected officials, thank you. But the most important thank you to each and every one of you. Look, you took time out of your busy lives. You found babysitters. You took time off work. You walk for miles in, look, I'm a Minnesotan, I'm like a damn snowman, I'm melting here. we walk on water half the year in Minnesota, it's so damn cold, but not you, you came. And you came into this space with neighbors. And you came here for one beautiful, simple reason. You love this democracy.
Amen.
I'll tell you what. Wow. Well, I couldn't be prouder to stand with you, and I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket. You know what's at the end of this little journey? Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. This is a leader who wakes up every day on the side of the American people. She will take on the predators, she will take on the fraudsters, she will take on the transnational gangs, and she will stand up to the corporate interest and put middle America first. And she's been effective. She's been willing to reach across the aisle no matter what, just to make sure it improves people's lives. And I'll have to tell you, I know a little something about commitment to people. Some of you heard this. I was born in a small town in Nebraska. And we talk about small towns. These are those Nebraskans that moved out here for the winter, so. But look, small town was all about community. My mom and dad, they taught us to show some care to your neighbors, show some generosity, work towards a common good, being to your neighbor. My dad, and some of you know him in here, you have a smoking Korean War era veteran, cared about his community, but 2 days after I turned 17, he took me down to join the Army National Guard. And for 24 years, I proudly wore that uniform. I'm proud of that service, but what my nation gave my dad and millions of others and me was an opportunity to use the GI Bill to get a college education. My dad was a teacher. My brothers and sisters and I all became teachers. And we married teachers. I had the privilege of teaching high school social studies for 20 years. And you might have heard, coaching a state championship football team. Now if the Vikings could just win, that would be the Weber. Look. That worked better near Green Bay, I'll tell you. So, look, it was my students. It was my students who encouraged me to run. They saw in me what I hope to instill in them, a commitment to a common good. The belief, the true belief, that one person, one of us in here, can make a difference in somebody's life. I wasn't very politically savvy because I did not know it when I decided to run for Congress that there had been one other Democrat elected in that district since 1892. But my neighbors believed, and they graced me with an opportunity to serve them in the United States Congress for 12 years. And I'm proud of the work I did in the Agriculture Committee. And I worked hand in hand with Republicans to make sure that we were crafting legislation that improved the lives of veterans and people all across this country. I learned how to compromise without compromising my values. And as governor of the great state of Minnesota, I brought all of those experiences to the challenges facing the state of Minnesota. This idea about a common good, this idea about something bigger than ourselves, this idea of kindness, generosity, and compassion, that this building, which I have been told, by the way, might be the largest political gathering in the history of Arizona. I think it's safe to say Donald Trump sees the world a little differently than we do. First and foremost, and be very clear about this, he doesn't know the first thing about service. It's hard to provide service when you're too busy serving only yourself. Again and again and again, Donald Trump weakens our country to strengthen his own hands. You've watched him mock our laws. You watched him sow chaos and division at every opportunity. And that's to say nothing of his record as president. As governors, he froze during COVID and pitted us in a hunger game against our neighbors to try and find basic life-saving needs. And because of him, our neighbors died. By failing to address COVID, he drove the economy into the ground. And let's be very clear. The statistics and the facts are clear about this. Violent crime was up under Donald Trump. And we don't even have to count his crimes in that to make it up. So, still. Look, better yet, beat the hell out of him at the ballot box. Beat the hell out of him at the ballot box. Look, you and I, especially the gray hairs in the crowd, we know our relatives. Republicans used to be the people talking about freedom. Not this group. When they talk about freedom, it means that the government should be free to invade your exam room with your doctor. Look, in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make. We maybe wouldn't make the same choices, but we respect them. And I know in Minnesota and in Arizona and places across this country, you know what makes society work best? Is when you learn a golden rule. Mind your own damn business. Mind your own damn business. You don't need it. I don't need you telling me what books to read. I don't need you telling me about what religion we worship. And I sure the heck don't need you to tell me about my family. Look, this one's personal for me. This one's personal for me about IVF and reproductive care. When my wife and I, my wife of 30 years, because yes, we share family values, we just make our own damn choices about our family. But when we wanted to have children, that was yesterday, just waiting for good news. And then the phone would ring and you would be tempted, and then you would hear that the treatments had failed. It would blot out the sun that you just wanted something so beautiful and so simple to have a child. And then one day, And it wasn't by chance when that news came and we welcomed our daughter into the world. We named her Hope. We named her Hope. I'm not crying, you're crying. So when Vice President Harris and I talk about freedom, we're very clear. We mean the freedom to make your own health care decisions. And for all of our children to be free to go to school without worrying they'll be shot dead in their classroom. And in Minnesota, believe me, we believe in the Second Amendment, but we also believe in common sense gun violence laws. I remind my colleagues when I was in Congress, Ruben could tell this story, for 3 years in a row I was the top gun in the congressional trap shoot, so we can shoot better than them too, just by the way. When Vice President Harris talks about freedom, it's when freedom is when education is a ticket to the middle class, not crippling student loan debt. And this building and what we believe in, we are people that settle our political differences not through violence, but through it's a simple. Imagine every person in here is going to vote, and every person in here is going to get 10 other people to vote. And let's just go ahead and not go through this thing that it's so close. Let's just win big, people. Let's just win big. That's our choice. How often you get a choice so simple that this is going to decide the direction of our country? We have 87 days to decide the direction we're going to go. And I've been saying it. We can do anything for 87 days. Anything. And my mantra is, and look, you can see it on me over the last 5 days, we'll sleep when we're dead. We'll sleep when we're dead. Not now. Not now. Look, you know it, and I know it, but I think we need to be reminded. You know exactly what Donald Trump's plans are. You know which direction he's taking us. Don't believe this guy. Don't believe, that's like, listen, no one in here believes this guy, so anyway. But don't believe it when he's playing dumb about this Project 2025. He knows exactly what it'll do. They are not playing. They wrote their plan out. But just like they're getting arrogant about it, they're saying the quiet stuff out loud. It'll take our freedoms. It'll rig the economy for the super rich. It'll underfund veterans. And you know that if he goes back again, he's not only going to let go where he left off, it is going to be much, much, much worse. So look, rising costs, pulling health care from us, you know the whole routine. Look, I get this too. I know I'm preaching to the choir, a damn big and beautiful choir. But practice is over, people. The choir needs to sing. The choir needs to sing. Trump's not fighting for your family. He doesn't give a damn. And his running mate shares the same dangerous, twisted, backward agenda. Yeah. Every kid in my class of 25 studied at Yale, had their career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then writes a book trashing the very people who raised you. I've said it. It wasn't a name. It was an observation. These guys come up with the weirdest damn ideas that you will ever imagine. You know it's true. But here's the good news. We know the stakes. We know who they are. When they told us, we believed them. We know what's coming. But here's the big thing about it is, that's a reality that's not going to happen because the people in this building and millions across the country. This is a campaign about the future. We know what's there. We know it can come. We're not people who are afraid of the future. We shape the future. Kamala Harris believes in the freedom to make your own choices. She believes in the opportunity for every single person to enter the middle class. And she believes something so beautiful. She believes in the promise of America. The promise of America. So I want to say thank you, Madam Vice President, for the trust you placed in me. And I want to say something else, that this incredible leader, this incredible woman has brought to this fight. She has brought back compassion and decency and humor and joy to our politics. So Arizona, bring that joy with you, bring those smiles, bring that positive future as you join me in welcoming the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Yep, still get chills. Still get chills watching her walk into this. Can y'all see my goosies? Chicken skin. I'll point out she looks pretty good for a woman that's been campaigning her ass off.
Good evening. Good. Thank you all. Thank you. Can we hear it for Tim Walz?
Tim Walz, yeah, he's amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's good to be back in Arizona. Good evening, everyone. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so very much. Oh, it is good to be back. Let me just say, let me just start by thanking everyone who is here. Thank you all so very much. All of you. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We are going to do this. And I want to thank all of the incredible leaders who are here, including Congressman Greg Stanton, your next United States Senator, Congressman Ruben Gallego, and my dear friend, United States Senator Mark Kelly. And let me just say, as Arizona knows, Mark is an extraordinary leader who has dedicated his life to the service of our nation as a fighter pilot, as an astronaut, and as a member of the United States Congress. And he has given so much to our country. He always fights for the people of Arizona. And I am so grateful, Mark, for your friendship and your leadership. And, of course, the phenomenal Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. There are also an incredible group of mayors with us today. Mayor Kate Gallego, Mayor Corey Woods, and Arizona co-chair of Republicans for Harris, Mayor John Giles.
That's such a big deal, that one right there.
So today, I also bring greetings from our incredible President, Joe Biden.
This is the part I love, that she always tips her hat.
Joe. And I know we are all deeply grateful for his lifetime of service to our nation, and we thank Joe Biden each and every day for all he is and all he has done and all he has yet to do. Let us thank him always. So, Arizona, this has been a big week. On Monday, I officially became the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. And on Tuesday, I announced my running mate in this campaign, Governor Tim Walz. And as you all just heard, Tim has a great record as governor of the great state of Minnesota. And to those who know him best, Tim goes by a few more titles besides governor. To his wife, Gwen, thank you. So Tim, we know him by governor, but you'll soon get to know his wife, Gwen, to whom, you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Here's the thing. We are all in here together. I'm told an extraordinary number of folks who are here together because we love our country. We're here to fight for our democracy. Which includes respecting the voices that I think that we are hearing from. And let me just say this on topic of what I think I'm hearing over there. Let me just speak to that for a moment, and then I'm going to get back to the business at hand. So let me say, I have been clear. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done. Now is the time. And the president and I are working around the clock every day to get that ceasefire deal done and bring the hostages home. So I respect your voices, but we are here to now talk about this race in 2024.
Boom. She handled that much better.
So, Tim Walz, so let's just say this. Besides being governor, the thing I've come to learn about Tim Walz that you have known and may learn more, he's an extraordinary person. He's known by many titles. To his wife, Gwen, he is husband. To his kids, Hope and Gus, he is dad. To the people of southern Minnesota for 12 years, he was congressman. To his former high school students, he was Mr. Walz. And to his former high school football players, he was coach. And in 88 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by a new title, Vice President of the United States. So it's so good to be back in Arizona, and I thank you all for turning out today. This is an extraordinary, extraordinary thing. And Arizona, I'll also say this, as exciting as this is, we cannot lose sight of a really important fact. We are definitely running as the underdog. We are the underdog. We are out in great numbers, but we got a lot of work to do. And this is going to be hard work, but I know we like hard work. Hard work is good work for all of us. Hard work is good work. And we will do it with joy. And I know we are all clear about what we are up against. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president, I was an elected United States Senator. Before that, I was an elected Attorney General, and before that, an elected District Attorney.
I think they did.
And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. So I took on, in these roles, perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, scammers who broke the rules for personal gain. So Arizona, hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. In fact, I've been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that scammed students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. As a prosecutor, I specialized in cases of sexual abuse. Well, Donald Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General, I held Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Well, Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud, 34 counts. So all of this, yeah, the courts will deal with that. We're going to win in November. We're going to win in November. We'll handle that too. So, but all of this is to say, in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his every day of the week. Every day of the week. But make no mistake, that being said, our campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. It is about, and I love you, Bob. Our campaign is about two different visions for our nation. One, ours, focused on the future. The other, focused on the past. And Arizona, we fight for the future. A future with affordable health care, affordable child care, and paid leave. A future where we build a broad-based economy where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, to build wealth. Here with us today, I know we have a number of Native leaders. And as president, I will tell you, I will always honor tribal sovereignty and respect tribal self-determination. And
She's paying attention to these Zoom calls.
Every Native person can realize their aspirations, and every Native community is a place of opportunity. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families, so that they have the chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because look, while our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, I will continue that work to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging. I will take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families. I will take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. And all of this is to say, unlike Donald Trump, I will always put the middle class and working families first. Because you see, Coach Walz and I know the middle class built the United States of America. And when the middle class is strong, America is strong. And while we work to move our nation forward, look, Donald Trump, be very clear, intends to move us backward. Just look, and we're not going back. Tim talked about it. Look at his Project 2025 agenda. It's 900 plus pages. I can't believe they put that thing in writing, by the way. But when you look at it, when you read it, you will see Project 2025 is a plan to weaken the middle class. If he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give a tax break to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis. And Arizona, every day you feel the impact of extreme heat and drought. You know this crisis is real. He calls it a hoax. And on top of all of this, if Donald Trump wins in November, he intends to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was? Remember what that was? He won't win. You're right. We will win. We will win. And part of why we are going to win is because we remember, and we are smart, and we know what's happening, and we're not falling for the gaslighting, and we're not falling for the okie doke. That's why. So look, America has tried so many of those failed policies before, and like we all know, we're not going back. We will move forward and take on the biggest issues facing our nation. For example, the issue of immigration. So I was Attorney General of a border state. I went after the transnational gangs, the drug cartels, and human traffickers. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. So I know what I'm talking about. We know our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it. Comprehensive reform that includes strong border security and an earned pathway to citizenship. But Donald Trump does not want to fix this problem. Be clear about that. He has no interest or desire to actually fix the problem. He talks a big game about border security, but he does not walk the walk. Earlier this year, everybody here knows, earlier this year we had a chance to pass the toughest bipartisan border security bill in decades. But Donald Trump tanked the deal. Because he thought by doing that it would help him win an election. But when I am president, I will sign the bill. So Arizona, ours is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on assault against hard-fought, hard-won freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government telling her what to do. And on that last point, understand how we got here. When he was president, Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would overturn and undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as he intended, they did. And now, in over 20 states in our nation, There is a Trump abortion ban. Many like Arizona with no exceptions, even for rape or incest. And just yesterday, in a press conference, we got a fresh reminder of what Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda would do. It would ban medication abortion in every state. But we are not going to let that happen because we trust women. And when I am President of the United States and when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedoms for every woman in America, I will sign it into law. So listen, here's the thing that we all know. Here's the thing we all know. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. Now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. So we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. And we who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws. So much is on the line in this election. And understand, this is not 2016, and this is not 2020. You know, this time around, the stakes are even higher. And that's because last month, the United States Supreme Court basically just told the former president, who has been convicted of fraud, that going forward, he will be effectively immune no matter what he does in the White House. But think about what that means. Think about what that means in this election. Think about what that means. He's been effectively told he will be immune if he's back in the White House. Think about what that means when you remember Donald Trump has openly vowed, if re-elected, he will be a dictator on day one. That he will weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Remember that he even called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States. Understand what this means. And let us be very clear, someone who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States should never again stand behind the seal of the United States President. Never again. Never again. So Arizona, it all comes down to this. We are here because we love our country. We love our country. We love our country, and I do believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. That's how we preserve the promise of America. And after all, the promise of America is what makes it possible for Governor Walz and me to be on the same stage together. Because think, two middle-class kids. One, a daughter of Oakland, California, who was raised by a working mother, had a summer job at McDonald's. The other, a son of Nebraska Plains who grew up working on a farm. Think about it. Only in America is it possible for them together to make it all the way to the White House. Only in America. Only in America. So we together, all of us, we're running this campaign on behalf of all Americans, from red states to blue states, from the heartland to the coast. And when we are elected, we will govern on behalf of all Americans. All Americans. So Arizona, ultimately in this election, I do believe we each one of us, we face a question. That question being, what kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of chaos, fear, and hate? Or a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? And the beauty of our democracy is that we each have the power to answer that question. Each one of us in a democracy has the power to answer that question. The power is with the people. And in the next, then 88 days, we need you to use your power. We need you to knock on some doors. We need you to register folks to vote. We need you to energize, to mobilize, to organize, and to make your voices heard. So Arizona, I ask, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Well, there you go, y'all. So, yeah, that was everything. That was everything you wanted to be right there. Yeah. I don't even know what to add to that. I'm so excited now. I was actually texting a buddy of mine while we were watching it, and I was just like, man, I'm even more excited to vote for her than I was Obama. Like, I understood how big Obama was at the time. 217,000 watching her channel. Guys, we had 7,000, yeah, we had 7,200 just on our show. So, I mean, 217,000 watching there, 20,000 plus in the, there in person. Like, yeah, we're not, Donald Trump's done. Like, he's done. Yeah, this isn't even close now. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Go download Hold the Mic on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. But make sure you subscribe. We're here every Friday night. Usually I have a wonderful podcast host named Ian, but his son's not feeling real good, so he had to duck out today. So luckily Kamala and Tim took the mic anyway, and I didn't have to do much talking. So she is getting better and better. I see that in the comments. I totally agree. So yeah, I think that was great. She is only getting better. I've watched 3 of her rallies now, and the speech is getting better. I think she's paying attention to the Zoom calls. I've been on several of the fundraisers and stuff, and hearing what the Latino men were saying, but more importantly the natives for Kamala. I went on that call, and there were several representatives on there. Cory Booker was on there, and the exact talking point that she had in that speech was something that several of the Native Americans that were on that, Native leaders that were on that call. And so I really do think that she's actually, getting briefed and paying attention to, what people are saying in these calls. So I don't think it's wasting time, doing these fundraisers and doing these calls and broadcasting like we are here. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Make sure, please, if you liked the show or the broadcast, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that follow button. But most importantly, make sure you get out and vote. All right? Make sure you check your voter registration. Wherever you are, I don't care what state you're in, make sure you check your voter registration. Do it now. Do it today. Do it tonight. If you know anybody that's not registered to vote, give them a little nudge. Send them a website. Help them. If you can, donate. Money is the most important thing. And remember, when you're supporting Democratic candidates like Kamala and Tim, you're supporting union jobs, because they use union print shops to get all of their merchandise stuff done. So you're supporting good jobs by supporting their merchandise. And most important, much love. Keep fighting. Stay safe out there.